Yeah. Staying relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, what do you look for in photographers?
Literally just about to ask that.
Yeah, like how do you decide who's going to work with who, et cetera, et cetera?
Well, first of all, I do like there to be a certain amount of chemistry. So I still like there to be like a choice in the process. When it comes down to the photographer and the girl, at least, when I'm looking for photographers on my end, honestly, I'm really open to using a lot of different types of photographers. Like, I think that art is really subjective. I think that photographers start from all different places. I've worked with ones that are now quite famous, and I can show you their photos they took of me when I was a new face, and they're quite bad. So, like, quite really bad. I've shot with some really cool photographers, honestly. And like, if you saw some of, like I said, all over again, and it all starts from somewhere, you know? And I think that being open to trying with new photographers is a good way of, getting the girls to challenge themselves in new ways. Maybe that photographer sees something in them in a different way, or maybe his art is going to, expose them to something new, or the way his brain works, or, maybe the people that he's working with. Like, I really like to stay open-minded in that regard. I'm always looking to see, I'm always on my phone because I'm also doing the social media. I'm looking for new faces. I'm looking at who's shooting, who's doing the runways. So it all kind of stems from that. In the beginning, I was really reaching out a lot more because I was reaching out to people that I had shot with, seeing who other people were shooting with. Now I think that because I've started a bit of a machine, I don't have to be like sourcing so much. I would say that I've definitely taken more of an editorial direction, just probably because that's what I like. And I'm the one doing all the creatives. So if anyone wants to shoot more of my girls in a commercial light, hit me up.
Shout out.
Yeah.
All of us.
Yeah. So I think I look for people that are trying to do like something full circle. They don't have to have a full team, but I like to see a full story. I like to see that it's either like about the girl or that there's something happening. I think that unfortunately, sometimes though, I do need fast return. So sometimes I work with a few different types of photographers. There's people that return quick. There's people that have their process and they take a long time. There's a few different beauty photographers. Like, LA is a melting pot, so I need to have a few
roster.
different resources of who I'm working with. And I think that we all work well with each other because I make sure that I'm promoting it and I'm posting who's doing it. And I'm hoping that from that they also get, I don't know, a lot of good return as well. Yeah.
And you also have models that might just, you want to just do beauty because that's kind of like their strength. And then some that you're not sure yet. So you're kind of sending them to different photographers to find out kind of what their strength is.
Oh, the girls might hate me, but I work like China style. Like when I'm doing testing, I'm doing like militia, like they're in the bear every single day. If I can pack their chart 2, 3, 4, when they're not working, they're testing. The way we see it is when they're not working, they should be creating content. They should be working on their craft. They should be getting better. When I see a girl who might not be beauty strong or she might not be getting a lot of traction in that direction, like, we only sign girls that we believe that we think can do everything. Oh, okay. So if we don't, if it's not happening, then how can you bend the mind of people to see that too? That's why I like to work with such a diversity of different types of photographers, because I like to try and curb views and try and, challenge the girls. Cause like, even if someone doesn't see them that way, like if they're asked to do it, they should be able to perform or at least try their best to get there. I will say though, that it has been a hard realization when I've realized that maybe a certain girl just can't do it with their look. I think because me as a model, I was a chameleon, so I really felt like I could do everything. But some girls, they do have a really strong direction to their look, and it can be a bit more challenging. But then again, I feel like a good photographer should be able to get it. Like a good testing photographer, if we're talking like paid testing, this is what his job is. Like I expect when a girl goes on it, he'll be able to pull that thing out of her.
Okay. That makes sense. Now, when photographers reach out, because I guess this is a question for a lot of photographers, say I'm a new photographer and I'm trying to, test with an agency, let's just say yours, and they send an email out. What are things that catch your eye that, make you say yes, or what are some no's that photographers have done in their emails?
And then how do you decide if you send a package, how do you decide what girls to send to this?
Yeah, maybe start with the no's.
Yeah.
Like red flags. Like when you see a photographer say something, you're like, okay, no.
Well, typically, like I said, I'm pretty open-minded. Typically, I don't usually say no until I've asked them like a series of questions, and those are usually about like the concept and like the usage of the photos. Because if it's for portfolio and it's a creative thing, and because then I'm usually like open to exploring it. If the concept is like very nude, typically and I've never worked with them before, that's usually a no, because usually like you want to build some sort of like a trust before you just start shooting girls like in that regard.
Yeah, you got to protect your girls. You don't know who this person is.
Yeah, but I mean, we do send out, we do make everybody sign, and I think that typically scares people out of most of it. Like I haven't had too many bad experiences through the testing, and like I said, I also work with a lot of people I've worked with before, and through word of mouth, and it's a very small industry, so in LA, I think. So I think I haven't had too many bad experiences, but yeah, concept, I like to ask them whether they're going to have different team members. If they're not going to have different team members, that's something I'm okay with, but I like to hear why. Like, why is this your process? Why do you feel that you can capture everything as a one-man show as opposed to having these other, like, usually necessary elements? Why is this your trade? And why do you feel like, you want to do this? Because the thing is like, you also don't want to waste anybody's time. And the one thing I am finding is that like, I might be okay showing up to a shoot and being like, comfortable in my own skin and trusting that the photographer can capture me, but not every girl feels that way. Like as soon as she doesn't have her makeup, and like a lot of our girls and men are international models, like they're living out of their suitcases, when they're asked to like show up with all these different items like that they've already shot before, they start having anxiety attacks, and they're like, well, this is going to look bad. And, and I'm going to be unprepared. And, it starts this like breakdown of the whole character. Like not every model is a stylist, a makeup artist, jack of all trades, it's something that they can work on. Yeah. But yeah, we have girls coming from Eastern Europe and, Brazil and, of all different, some are new faces, some are really experienced. Like really experienced girls, like they know how to style a shoot. They know how to get good photos without any makeup on. A new face might not feel like they can, really do it without the full character. And then again, even saying that, we have main board girls that just won't participate. So sometimes like if someone reaches out to me and they're like, I want to shoot with this girl, like I would love to make it happen, but this girl, like, she will not participate unless she has the full character. She needs that, like,
yeah,
she needs everything.
She needs everything to feel in the image to make it worth everybody's time. That's the thing I think that some people don't understand, is they think that maybe it's like just the agent, or like, why are they mad and not letting me shoot this girl? It's like there's so many things that can be going on in that relationship.
Yeah, I've gotten that before. Like the agent, like it's like I can't get a text back, so I don't think it's happening.
Yeah, or that too.
Yeah.
That can be surprising too, because it's supposed to be this like, symbiotic relationship. When I don't get a text back, I just like blow up with like question marks, phone calls. I don't think girls often not text me back anymore.
You better answer me.
But I have also learned though that some girls just don't like being creative, and it blows my mind. Like I just can't. That's the thing that I love the most. But every girl is so different, and I've met a couple girls that work every single day, and they just don't create.
Yeah, they're a mannequin.
Yeah.
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 It's okay.
Yep.
I can say it. You don't have to like be like.
You don't have to say
or-
yes or no.
Yeah, we got you.
But every model's different. That's the great thing about it. But I think I got off tangent again.
No, you did, because you
No,
answered
excellent.
a bunch of my questions with
Yeah, it was
that.
great.
Because there's been a few agents where like we communicated, but like we didn't come to like an end result just because of a few of those things. And I was just like, I didn't want to ask them why, but like that answered everything. So
I'm pretty big on communication. I'll pretty much always say why.
Yeah. No, all your tangents